all the same. If time's so simple, why is it so fickle and hazy? Are we meant to be just aboard, strong and stable? Just a little, the rain on my tin roof, and you say to me, if life's just a jingle, bury me with her and let her rule my mind. Are we all strong and stable?
Rachel, it's so great to see you guys. You guys haven't been back on the show since 2021. We were talking off camera. This is the year that like dreams are made of, right? I mean, Barbaro 2023. It looks like you guys have had so many accomplishments.
Yeah, it's been really exciting to be able to travel internationally, put together this album we've been working so hard on, and working with some of the most excellent musicians and musical people that we'll probably ever have the pleasure of working with. So it's exciting to see after all these years, these kind of opportunities come to fruition.
I think so. I mean, it seems like you guys are just doing amazing. Kyle, many highlights this year. The one that keeps jumping at me when we were doing research this whole week is the American Music Abroad Tour from May to June. I mean, you guys have had a bunch of highlights, but that seems just so cool. I mean, you played Qatar, Turkey, Bulgaria. What an experience. How did this come about, Kyle?
Yeah, it's a program through the U.S. Department of State, and every year they take 10 artists or bands to tour internationally. So we were doing a lot of public performances, a lot of workshops with school children in these different countries, and things like that. It was a really cool way to see new parts of the world. And I think for me, the best part was just getting to go into the schools, meet the students, do these workshops, get them engaged, and chat a bit about kind of what we do and how we play our instruments.
Yeah. What was your experience, Jason? For example, playing, the ambassador of Turkey, Jeff Flake's house and stuff like that. Just unique experiences, Jason. Like, were you like, what an interesting kind of like vibe for you?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was, especially in Turkey, imagine having the backdrop in Istanbul of the water, and this incredible view that I know it's like one of those things like you can't just see that in a normal touring situation. So, getting to meet people who are working in the State Department and things like that. So, I look at it as, a good way to see a part of the world and the part of even the government that, I've never thought I would get to see.
Yeah,
absolutely. And it's so exciting.
Totally. And Rachel, for you, I know you've traveled, you're well traveled, all this stuff, but like going from that perspective and taking Barbaro like as a product, how did that kind of like, how did that influence, how did that affect you? Like how was that for you, Rachel?
I think you're muted.
I'm actually not that much of a traveler. That's not a privilege I've been able to enjoy very much through my life. I've spent a bit of time outside of the States before this trip, but the opportunity to be able to enjoy the gift of travel while simultaneously sharing music with and making new connections with people was kind of a lifetime opportunity for me. So it was especially special because I haven't been able to travel very much. So that was a great gift, and I feel very fortunate to have been able to enjoy it.
And Rachel, how was the reception for Barbaro sound? I feel like you guys are on the cutting edge of a really special sound, really special, kind of like I think where sound is going with songwriting, with with like Americana, atmospheric bluegrass, kind of like a very unique sound. How was that like received? In a part of the world that I don't know how, out of ignorance, I don't know how connected they are to what you guys are doing.
I recently read a Tolstoy quote about, and this is at the time a lot of like philosophers and art critics were trying to define what is art, what is humanity, and Tolstoy says that art is the ability to communicate an emotion without words. And I'm paraphrasing here, but I just think it was kind of startling just to see across language barriers and across different cultures, being able to make an emotional connection with people around the world, just through the music, expressing something kind of ineffable, but that, produces tears or produces smiles or produces the urge to tap your foot. And it really does show there's kind of more going on to our world than just what we talk about.
Yeah.
But that was really special.
I love that. It's true. It's true. That's beautifully said, Rachel. Kyle, this album, by the way, about the winter, I think it comes out the 20th. Fantastic album. Got a chance to preview it. But Kyle, it was, I think, your first album that you've done without Isaac, if I'm not mistaken. Tell us a little bit about that. You kind of started Barbaro with Isaac. So, both professionally as an artist and also personally as a friend. Was it difficult? Was it like an interesting shift for you?
Sure. So we were lucky enough to get Isaac to record on the album. But as far as the writing process and things like that, with previous albums, Isaac and I were spending a lot of time kind of working these tunes out. Going into this new album, we knew that Isaac was going to be taking a step back, going to be focusing on his family. And so we tried to think of ways to incorporate him, but maybe make the parts a little bit more accessible, where a lot of these banjo parts could be played on the banjo. They could maybe be played on the piano, or other instruments like that. So it was really enjoyable that, we got to record with him again, a little bittersweet. But this is something, that we've been working through for a while, and he's got 2 kids. They're building a life together. So we're just really happy for him, that he's able to, focus on his family.
Sure, totally. And Rachel, I know you probably don't want me to put you on the spotlight like this, but like I started, one by one, which is actually your latest single of the album. I mean, we've known the people that are on Barbaro. We know the vocals that you have and the talent that you have. But if I may say so myself, and I think Kyle and Jason would agree, this is your coming out party, this single, or that's how I see it. Do you, how do you feel about like this single? I think it's just really showcasing everything you are, Rachel Calvert, and on a very like, this is a very strong part of Barbaro way.
Well, I love to sing, so it's fun to be able to do that, a little more consciously for our community of listeners. But I would also, I've had this discussion with friends who are like, why don't you sing more? And like, I playing the fiddle or violin and singing, like those are both important contributions to the group. So it's really fun. I love singing, and it's fun to kind of be the vehicle for the immediate song's message. But I view the work that I've done instrumentally to be just as exciting and fulfilling as it is to sing. So I think it's important that people understand, the different roles that I may be playing in this band. To me, they're all really important, and they all feel extremely fulfilling. Sure. But with that said, I will say a muscle that I don't flex is I'm not a songwriter. That's not a skill I've come to develop. And I'm very grateful that Kyle has used his gift for songwriting to allow me some opportunities to convey the beautiful messages that he writes. So that's been kind of fun to partner with Kyle to bring those songs to life with his words and with my voice.
Yeah, well said. And this particular song, the story is so great. How it started silly lyrics, and Kyle just kind of, he's like, all right, it's a good melody. I'll work. I'll make it a good thing. And he made it like a classic, like so easy, Kyle. But Jason, let me ask you about this. Jason, you've been with a bunch of producers, engineers, but this album you guys worked with Brian Joseph. Obviously, not only one of the best people in North America, but like nationally, I would think. He's worked with Iver, Sufjan Stephens. How was that experience like, Jason? Just kind of like, recording in the hands of someone as capable and who really understands on a deep core what Barbaro is about.
Well, I'd say like the thing that, reflecting on working with Brian, that he was really good at kind of guiding us in getting, our best out as during the recording process. And there's like the vibe that he created was really, really distinct, and something that, with everybody that I work with, that I haven't experienced in quite that way. It takes a really skilled person, engineer, to kind of create that vibe without taking over, so, we felt that, we could really trust him through the process. When he, gave any kind of feedback and things like that, we were able to trust him without feeling like he was, had, any kind of, without him taking over.
What it's about.
Yeah. So it was great. Yeah, it was great. It was really, I could see why, he's made some really incredible records.
But you bring a great point, Jason, because I a lot of musician friends, sometimes when they work with big names, they sometimes like, I've heard like, oh man, I wish I would have been a little more hands-on because I just trusted the name. So the fact that he was able to kind of like hit that sweet spot is cool.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Well, Kyle, Rachel, Jason, you guys have a bunch of stuff to do. So let me leave you with this. Kyle, Rachel, you guys are headlining North American tour this fall and winter. This is it, guys. You guys are hitting all over, including Nashville here on November 3rd at the Basement. Man, what an exciting time. What do you guys have planned? How are you guys preparing? Barbaro hits the road. We'd love to see it.
Yeah, we're excited. We're hitting up a bunch of cities on this tour that we've never hit before. So we are we're stoked to just kind of get on the road and try these tunes out in new places, and kind of see what happens. We've been doing a handful of gigs this summer where we've been preparing, getting an additional musician to go on the road with us, getting that all squared away. So come November, we just kind of hop on the road and hang on, really.
Right on. Well, Kyle, Rachel, Jason, you guys have said it all for today. Brand new album about the winter comes out in a couple of weeks. Thank you guys so much. An incredible album. Congratulations, guys. Super excited for everything.
Thanks for having us.
All right.
Yeah.
I